Well, hello, good evening, and welcome to Rangers Radio on a Monday night. Tonight we're joined on the panel by Blue Star and Bridgman. Good evening, guys.
Well, can I say a big good evening to the guys in the panel? Huge good evening to the guys in the lobby, and to other Rangers fans listening in all over the world. Good evening and welcome to Rangers Radio.
Evening, Blue Star. You still there? Don't know. We seem to have lost Blue Star at the moment.
No, again. He
So
can't come off of mute. Come off of mute, Blue Star.
After all, I've taught him, I know, Bridge. He still messes it up.
Brilliant, isn't it? Brilliant.
Anyway, Bridge, how we doing, pal?
Evening,
I'm
guys.
okay.
You're there.
You made it, did you? Well done, Blue. Well done. I'm okay. Everything's fine. I'm kind of fuming about the result of the game. Obviously, I'm fuming at our defence for letting that through. So it's a big, shall we say, a lot of blame to our twin centre halves and their goalkeeper. Somehow that boy getting to score a good goal. Other than that, I thought we were booted off the park and cheated by the referee, who looked as if he didn't have a clue what kind of game he was refereeing. Two tough teams and a lot of boots flying, in my opinion. A lot. Once again, there could have been a few red cards. One for ourselves, I must admit, by Golson at the end. It could have been a red card, but definitely there was a couple of red cards for them, for sure. And I believe that I never saw it in my own eyes. I just saw a wee snippet, but I believe Morelos was involved with, which is with Broadfoot or Clubfoot, whatever we like to call him. And I think that's disgraceful. That guy, just disgraceful. The amount of ex-Rangers players who are really up for getting in there and putting the boot into Rangers, and I mean physically as well, is unbelievable. Just unbelievable, Foxy. I don't know what you think.
You've summed up the whole game there, most of the top points. So we'll just go to a tune now. And yourself, Blue Star, how are you doing?
Okay. Not bad. I've got to be honest. You've got to agree with everything Bridgman said there. Again, we don't like moaning about referees, but you couldn't help but moan, and not just because we didn't take all 3 points, but that they weren't tackles that were getting half the times. They were assaults. The one we were talking about there, the one on Gresda out at the corner flag. Goodness me! And the guy wasn't even spoken to by the referee. I mean, what is it coming to? As Bridgman says, we've got ex-players now. And he draws his foot right down Morelos' calf. He could have done his Achilles or anything. And then it's plastered all over the papers because you see Morelos with a fist out. I mean, I just don't get it. We don't seem to be getting any protection at all. And yes, we're honest enough to say, let's be honest, the Goldson one probably could and should have been a red card. But goodness me, the ones that went on before that, the whole game, not just certain bits of the game. As soon as a Rangers player attempted to go forward with a ball, somebody was getting clogged and brought down. And as I say, they weren't just fouls. Half the times they were at waist height. So no, that referee was a disgrace on Saturday, definitely.
I didn't know much about the referee Aitken at the weekend, mate. I don't even remember ever seeing him refereeing one of his games, our games, but he didn't have the greatest game. But apart from his moaning about the roughhouse tactics, I didn't think we played particularly well. We did in patches as per normal, but the honest sort of my opinion is once again the midfield never clicked. Up front, Morelos again left on his own. I don't think he got any help for both Candias and Kent getting into the box. Stephen Davis tried to get forward, but I thought he had a reasonable game, but he wasn't the standout player that we were all hoping for. And the back two didn't make many mistakes apart from the goal, which is, I think they had 2 shots in goal. I think it was all in, and they scored by 1. I don't know what McGregor was doing charging at the box. I think he put Katic off, actually tackling the boy before he got to the box. And usual bad mistake. The boys, I think it was McClenny or whatever you call him, it slid the ball in. So 1-0 down, and it was an uphill struggle from then on. Yeah. We've also been joined by Jimmy. Evening, Jimmy.
Evening, Fox. Evening, Blue Star, and
Evening,
Mr.
Jimmy.
Bridgeman. How you all doing tonight?
Evening, Jim.
Listen to the start of the show there, guys. I can't really say much more than you guys. Poor performance all round. 2 pass marks for me, Alfredo and Stephen Davis. It's hard to say Stephen Davis after poor games he's had. I know we can't say, and I know I used the word at the last game, we were cheated. I felt we were cheated there again. I thought it was a penalty. I'm not convinced it hit the boy anywhere else but the arm. But we're not going to hang me. But no, it'll be interesting to see tomorrow what happens with Alfredo.
What's have decided, Alfredo?
Well,
tomorrow.
they don't make a decision to the Tuesday after the weekend games, Fox.
Right, okay.
It was stated today that the compliance officer was looking at aspects of the weekend's games. So I'm just hoping that Alfredo's no one amongst that wee pile that she's got. If it is, then it's a disgrace, because the video that I saw last night, Stadler and Waldorf on Sports Scene, clearly you saw Clubfoot having a last shoot at Fred before Fred retaliated. So, as they say, what's good for a goose? So it'll be interesting to see. 12 o'clock tomorrow, there'll be some sort of decision made in all aspects of any games that were played over the weekend, if there's any compliance officer report. So I don't know if Fred will be in amongst that. Let's hope he's no. But getting back to the game, guys, another poor showing. Overall, Alan McGregor, Goldson and Katic at fault for the goal. I agree with what Fox is saying here. Candace and Kent didn't do Fred any favours. He's trying his heart out to come back and retrieve the ball, to try and go and do something. An all-round performance again, which was very, very poor. And then saw what happened the next day, 7 minutes injury time. So, but we can't blame anybody but ourselves. Look, the knives are coming out, guys. They're starting, so that you can see in various forums, and I read them on my papers online today, and I read the Keith Jackson's column and all that, and all the rest of them. The knives are out. He's right. I said to his other night there, guys, look, it's 50-50 with the Rangers support on Steven Gerrard now. And I'd agree with it. I'm pleased to say that I'm in the 50% that is still backing him.
Jimmy, we're still backing him. I said to Fox here just before the show, I was reading on the forums, and I read follow, and the iReady one. And almost to a man, every punter that was coming on was saying, basically, it was Europe that was keeping them in a job, because we were only 2 points better off than when Pedro had it. Now, to a certain extent, we know that's true, but Europe was a big thing, Jimmy, for me. I know it's maybe not everything for everybody else. It's brought us in money. Certainly, granted, the leagues were bread and butter. We all know that, and there's no two ways about it. The players on the park should be doing better than what they are. We all know that. So I don't know what the answer is, Jimmy. I really don't. I keep saying it myself. He's coming out after every presser and saying we'll learn from it. I'm expecting a reaction. Well, that's 4 games in the trot now that we haven't won a game. So there's glaringly something wrong there. There has to be. We know we lack physicality. That's a massive statement, because we do. But they players have already proved they're good enough to beat the teams. Why are they not doing it?
Can I ask all the guys a question? I don't want to hog the hangman out because everybody's wanting. I don't know how much he's read today, but there was one statement made twice. It was made by 2 different columnists, and it said that they felt that maybe Steven Gerrard was intimidating the players.
I read that, yeah.
Could you give me a reaction? Do any of these guys think that's the case? You think he's intimidating with his comments?
My first comment to that would be, how do they know?
That's what I was thinking, mate.
And remember, Jimmy, his last presser there, what did he say after the game where we were ranked rotten? The second last game there, and he came out to the press afterwards and says he hadn't even walked into the dressing room. He wasn't going to speak to them to the following day. So you and I both know, we all know, all Deck's managers would have had them up against the wall one by one. So I hardly think they would feel intimidated.
Speaking of that, we'll just listen to what the reaction of Steven Gerrard was after the Kilmarnock game here, guys.
Yep.
Okay. I'm on mute.
Helped them an awful lot. But in terms of us trying to get back in the game, I can't fault the players' application and them trying to create and make things happen. We've had all the balls, we've pushed, we've played football in the right way. From that moment, Kilmarnock, every time we went past them, it was a blatant foul. The time wasting on throw-ins and goal kicks, all a lot, which you'd expect, which is fine. And that's the reason why it becomes frustrating. We had some good chances to maybe build on even more from Alfredo's goal. So yeah, it's a frustrating result, but the performance was close to being all right.
And frustrating too that the quality Alfredo showed for his goal, I suppose, will be lost in the result because it was excellent.
Yeah. I think he took his goal really well, but we're over-reliant on him at the moment, and it's my job to try and fix that. It's quite clear that I need to try and help the team and the squad in the final third. And I know that, and at the right time I'll try and address that.
You've now got 2 weeks to build up to the next game. Is the break perhaps coming at the right time, given what's happened over the last week or so?
Yes and no. Look, I think in the short game it was today 52-53, so I'm sure if you ask the players, they're probably ready for a bit of a breather. Obviously we've got internationals going off as well, so we hope they come back fit and well. In terms of me, I'd love the next game to be in a couple of days, because you always want to get back to winning ways and get that good factor back. But if you take their goal out of the equation today, I think the players have nearly put in a good performance. But nearly's not good enough at Rangers, and we've killed ourselves by conceding a poor goal. 2 of our defenders decide to stay high, 2 drop off, and we get done. So I'm disappointed in that moment, but take that moment away, and the players done the majority of what was asked of them.
And just finally, another positive, getting Eros back in the pitch after a long layoff, and good to see him back.
Yeah, I thought he'd done well today. To be fair to Daniel, I think he's running on empty at the moment. So I wanted to change that area of the pitch to see if we could get something from the right-hand side. And to be fair, he stood up, he was counted, he tried his best, and he kept pushing. And I felt like we were going to go on and get the second one. We had a good chance when Davis gets in, and he probably gets caught in 2 minds, whether it's a shoot or cross, and then Defoe has a decent chance, which normally he can find the net from there. So it was nearly there today, but the players haven't helped themselves by conceding a soft goal.
Well, that was the manager there. What did you think? Go you, Bridge. More or less the same as what we are saying.
No, near enough. Very near it. It's just he's got to be honest with himself and his team. And the most important thing he said to me, and the most poignant thing he said there was, did we lose a goal or did we lose a goal? Spectacularly. 3 players lost a goal. That wee guy was there, the ball, all of a sudden the ball came through him, and thank you very much. I'll just push this past. Goalkeeper, all at sea. It's at 2 centre-halves, all at sea. No idea what they're doing. No idea. I'm sorry to say it. That's the way it's been. And, I think, I dearly want us to get a real half-decent centre-half, big fella that can run. You need people with that pace. Unfortunately, we don't have that. And I'm not getting onto the centre-halves too much. You make a mistake, They never threatened us for the rest of the game, to be honest. They had 1 shot in the first half, hitting it at the minutes. The guy that had to get carried off, and the wee guy that scored the goal replaced him. So he had a shot into the side netting and had done something to his hamstring. And then that wee fella come on, did well. That was the only thing he did the whole game, other than when he was back defending. I tell you what, some of the defending was woeful, just dreadful. I don't know how we can hack this. I'll be honest with you. I don't know if Rangers are building a dossier up, but they should be. Somebody should be. There must have been easily 2-3 red cards for their players. Some of the fouls were absolutely horrendous, and we get stuck once again. We get stuck with a rookie referee, because that's what he was. He was a rookie referee with a rookie team, and that's no good enough for 50,000 people at Ibrox. No good enough. The SFA are shocking with the referees. That's disgraceful. There should always be an experienced referee and let them go on with it. That's the way I see it anyway.
Is this becoming an excuse for us now, Blue Star, that we're getting kicked off the park, or do you think it's a legitimate claim?
It's a going in Saturday's game, it's a legitimate claim. There's no two ways about it. There was umpteen times as soon as one of our players did attempt to go with the ball from midfield, he'd no sooner ran a couple of yards and bang, they were chopped, and more often than not, they weren't even spoken to. The ref just either waves play on or else he gives a foul. As I say, but we can't use that as an excuse. It's too easy to use that as an excuse. Bottom line is, yes, they might only had a couple of shots at our goal, but their goalkeeper never really had much to do. Davis had 2 good shots in the first half. One went over. Certainly made the keeper make a save. But in the second half, guys, can you remember how many shots did we actually have at the goalkeeper? How many saves did he have to make? He didn't. So, from that point of view, we've got to be far more clinical. The lack of service to Fred, and as I say, the goal was exceptional because the wee guy done it all himself. There was one of the times Davis was basically clean through, and he tried to pass the ball with battering it across the goal. Why didn't he just hit it himself? And I'm not blaming him, because our whole midfield's been doing it all season. There's been umpteen times a certain player's got a chance, and what do? They try and look for an easy option with passing it to somebody else instead of taking it on themselves and committing themselves. And I feel some of our decision making just lacks purpose. There's a lack of committal with a lot of our players. And again, our manager came out there and he said he feels sorry for Daniel because he's running in empty. Well, I'm sorry, Stevie. The first question I would have said to our manager is, well, why have you got him out there? We're supposed to have a squad. Why have you got a guy that's runs his gut? We know he runs his guts out every game for us. We know he does. But if the wee guy's running in empty, why on earth was he out there?
Fair comment, Jimmy.
I mean, I'm a great believer, the same as the rest of the guys. I mean, we are being refereed differently from anybody else, but we can't be making that as an excuse. I mean, Golson should have been off the park, but so should 2 of their players. We're beginning to sound like the puddle drinkers a lot of the times, moaning all the time about the referees. You know, they get away with it, we don't. You know, so we should learn that lesson.
Yeah.
But I'm the same as Blue Star. If Candyman's running in empty, then he shouldn't have been on the park. He should have. If it wasn't going to last the 90 minutes, then he should have brought somebody else on. Substitution-wise, I'd like to have seen them try to change it a wee bit to have a right go. And I'd have brought Big Lafferty on in the second half to see if we could have combated that. Because, look, guys, you know yourself, typical, as soon as they scored, that was it. Shutters were up, and it was up to us to try and break down a team with 10 men behind the ball again. And it happens every time we go and play any of them. You know, sometimes even the puddle drinkers do it. So it was disappointing in the fact is that, you know, it wasn't a really good game. I've heard people say it was an alright game. I thought it was a rubbish game. I don't understand Steven Gerrard saying that they nearly had a good game. I don't know what that means, that Rangers nearly had a good game. Rangers were nowhere near nearly having any good game on Saturday. And for me, it was a poor result again. Poor performance. The only shining light came out of that for me. We know Fred tries his heart out every game, but the only shining light that comes out for me there was Stephen Davis. Showed a wee bit of the magic that he had before he went down to Southampton. So I hope that continues for him, because we're all big fans of Stephen Davis. But Fox, we can't start keep making excuses about the referees all the time. He's a rookie referee, aye. But look, it wasn't a TV game, so they're entitled to put whatever referee they feel necessary. So he lost control of the game the first 10, 15 minutes. He wasn't confident of what he was doing. So it worked for both sides, but they should have been doing to probably 10 men before us. The big Golson's tackle, but it didn't happen.
I'm not actually blaming the referee, James. I'm more looking at the tactics deployed by the managers against us. It's as soon as we start to build a move, mate, where players are taking out the game. I read an interesting fact on Follow somebody had put up. In the games against Hibs, the game against Kilmarnock and the game against Aberdeen, the total yellow cards and red cards against us was 1 red card, 17 bookings by the opposition. Yeah. I looked at the corresponding fixtures against the Puddle Drinkers, Jimmy, and there was 6 bookings between the 3 games. Yeah, now, that shows to me that there's different tactics being employed against us. It's stop us doing anything. And it's absolutely putting me off football. And I know we should be good enough to beat them despite the tactics, but every time you go to... I mean, I think the boy Kent, mate, every time he go to the boy, went by one and then he was just body check, brought down, pulled, hauled all over the place.
Fox, you're right, that's happened the last 4 or 5 games. No, the one that sticks out for me is St Johnstone game. He was kicked out of the park that night. So, I mean, I agree with what you're saying. We're refereed differently. The kickers and Hunt is doing it all the time, and we never get the free kick that we should get. Yeah, and the Puddle Drinkers get away with it. Not just the Puddle Drinkers. Everybody else seems to get away with it. But I know we can complain about it and moan about it, but you know something? You know as well as I do, folks. It's not going to do us any good because they're not going to listen to Rangers. But they're listening to everybody
can I just come
else.
in there, Foxy boy?
Ah, you can indeed, mate.
I just say, Jimmy, I'm not being funny. I agree 100% with what you're saying.
Sorry,
Cairo.
Cairo, you got a show in the background there, mate.
I'll turn it off, buddy. I'm trying my best. This stupid laptop just doesn't know what to do with itself.
Tell me about it.
What I was going to say, Jimmy, is I think we are being systematically cheated by everybody associated with football, including the referees. And I mean that sincerely. You look at the referees we get at Ibrox with a full house, they're shocking. They're absolutely shocking against us. We hardly get a decent decision. We get booted out all over the place.
Yep.
I can understand that if we're away from home and the home team do it, but no Ibrox. For God's sake, I don't expect us to get injured and things like that at Ibrox. Sorry, I just don't expect it.
So see the one that got done in Dresden. Now we seen Stevie G jumping out. That was one of the few times he actually jumped to it. And he was shouting to the referee and his hands were up above his waist. In other words, he tried to off him in 2. What would happen if Stevie G had just went like that to the players right after the park? Is that an answer? Is that a logical answer, guys? Because I don't see us getting anywhere with us.
No, I think he should come out in the press and state it, mate. That's the thing. I mean, I'll tell you what really upsets me about the press in Scotland. They give people like McInnes and Stevie Clark all this credit about how wonderful they are. I mean, they have stole points off of not only us, off of the Puddle Drinkers as well this season. And they play the same way, chop everything down, hack everything to death and just boot the ball out the park. Time waste for the first minute to the last minute. And the press are making them out as they're doing a wonderful job. That's killing Scottish football. Yep. No wonder we can't get an international side because nobody in there, teams like that, can play football, mate. All they're taught today is hack other players doing. Anyway, we better bring in Cairo before he cracks up with me. How you doing, Cairo?
I'm good. How are you? You turned up tonight. It can't be raining.
Oh, nice one, huh? Miss one game all season and we've got you people on moaning at me.
Because it was a hour at the bistro, everybody was asking for you, but the conclusion that they all walked away with.
Quite right, pal.
Everybody, they all walked away with, it must be a fair weather supporter.
Aye, that's me, mate.
Well, I'll tell you what. I think what you said is absolutely 100%. And if you think about the stats there, that stat that you just brought up about the number of yellow cards and red cards, etc. If you think how many tackles some of those players are taking to get those yellow cards as well, compared with the type of tackles that we put in, it must, if they were getting yellow cards at the same rate as we were, we'd be playing against 7 men every week. So there is definitely a different measure being used against the Rangers than there is against any other team. Either that, or the other teams are coming at us much, much harder and much more ferocious and much more dangerous than they're against other teams, because the numbers you just quoted are horrendous. But we see it week in and week out. But if we say anything, we're classed as having blue-tinted glasses. And I don't think it is. I think... I know Jimmy said earlier on we're beginning to sound like the puddle drinkers, but when you look at facts like that, I think that bears out the fact that what we're seeing or what we're sensing or what we're putting forward is actually backed up with the facts. And I would love one game just to go through to see how many tackles. See that Aberdeen game and the Kilmarnock game, just the two of them, if somebody could run a rerun of that, just to see how many tackles people were making before they were getting booked even. I mean, the game in Saturday there, Kilmarnock, the wee fella in the middle of the park, the black fella in the middle of the park, I don't know his name.
Malumbu.
How many tackles did he make before he was even spoken to?
9.
So if that had been a Rangers player, they'd have been booked probably after 3 or 4 of their tackles, because some of them were quite wild. And Rangers player would probably get booked maybe at the second or the third because of a wild tackle. Geez, McGregor get booked on time for running half the park to get a ball off somebody. He pulls a ball off somebody, gets booked, and their boys almost scything down some of your players with really dangerous tackles and going through and trying to maim people, and they don't even get spoke to. And it's ridiculous, absolutely ridiculous. So,
Cairo, would you agree that half these teams are doing that simply because they've got into their heads that Rangers are a soft touch? Because I think there's a bit of that as well. I'm being honest.
I think there are two parts there. I think that you're right. We're a bit gutless in the middle of the park. We don't have an Ian Ferguson or somebody in there, an enforcer, if you like, that every good team has. We don't have anybody like that takes the pressure off our other midfield players. But irrespective of that, FITBA's supposed to be cleaning up. Look at the size of the Barcelona team. And in Spain, if anybody breathes in them, there's a foul. They go over, they get the foul. Our players aren't being protected, even though we don't do the best for ourselves. It doesn't help us. So I agree with what you're saying 100% there, that we should have somebody in there that's going to stand up for us. But the referee should be protecting us. I mean, some of the tackles are horrendous. Do you not agree that, if it takes 9 tackles for one player to get booked against us, and we have one player, Morelos, and that he does something silly and he gets booked immediately. They're falling out of themselves to book our players. Ryan Jack, the first couple of games he played with their red cares and that, it was horrendous. So if you take all of that into place, and I agree that we shouldn't need to worry about refereeing decisions, but where you've got close games and where you've got games that have been decided, and that we're not playing good, they're getting everything, our players are bound to be a bit hesitant at times. Now, that doesn't make up for the bad play, the likes of Goldstein with that penalty kick and all that sort of thing. I'm not talking about that. I'm talking about just generally. No one of our players are getting hesitant because every time they tackle, they get a foul against them. And they're having to watch their ankles every time they play the ball because we're getting pummeled with late tackles and everything. That detracts from actually playing good football. So there's a bit of that to it as well. And I'm not saying that that's the reason Rangers play badly or they're inconsistent. But I'll tell you what, if I was playing there every week, I'd probably be getting sent off every week. I'd be like Morelos, because there only so much you can take of getting kicked and getting studs brought down your ankles and getting hammered with tackles like that all the time.
We've got 2 players in our squad, and whenever they played at the start of the season, the 2 of them done a couple of good moves. And they'd no sooner done them, and both of them were clattered. And the 2 I'm talking about is the Grezda and Barisic. And then we all started hammering them, saying, they're not really getting involved. I'm telling these guys, that's what happened, and they weren't used to that type of football. I looked at stats the same as Jimmy this morning. If you looked at even the bookings that Morelos had at his previous 2 clubs, he hardly had anything. Because he didn't get hammered the way he gets hammered here.
Yeah.
And half our players, there's no doubt about it. You've just hit the nail on the head there. Half of your players are hesitant to go at players because they're fearing in case they're getting clattered.
Yeah, and I think the biggest symptom of that is what Fox said as well. We don't have many Rangers players playing in the Scottish team, but that Scottish team is the worst Scottish team we've had in years. I mean, the last 10 years, the Scottish team has just been crap. And it's because when we play against the likes of Iceland and these other teams that are of a similar sort of a size country type thing, they play football. And our Scottish team isn't allowed to tackle the way they're allowed to tackle in Scotland, even more so the way they tackle the Rangers. So we just get overrun against international teams.
Yeah. Can I come in on that one? I just want to say this about big. What's his name? The big fella that caused the fracas at half time.
Right? Oh, Big Sadie.
Yeah. Big Clubfoot. He's been involved with 3 incidents with our players, if not 4 or 5, but certainly 3. That was one on Saturday with Morelos, maybe 2 on Saturday with Morelos, truth be told, and another one with Ryan Jack, standing on his toes and all that shit, all the crappy things that he did. He came up and raked it, as we know, we saw it. He raked down the back of Morelos' leg, and our injured player, that boy, it came up for Brighton, was it? Brighton or Norwich, one of the two, is it? What's the boy that's been out for a long time? I'm dying to get him back into. One of our players who's been out for a long time and get injured at Kilmarnock.
Murphy,
that's him. Murphy. So and he was involved with that tackle as well. So there's a whole load of tackles he's been involved with, and there's been 3 major incidents, maybe 4. That guy is a danger to other footballers, that big fella. And the referees should be watching him and nobody else. I'm not being funny. They should be, because that's evil.
Bridgeman, they're more than him, though. I mean, that.
I'm saying, I'm only talking about in isolation. I'm saying
that tackle, the tackle for May.
Oh, there's been
Candias the other night there as well. Absolutely shocking. I mean, I don't understand why. I mean, they never even get spoken to. But right through.
No, but what I'm saying is, see Clubfoot. He should be getting spoken to. That should be all of that should be. It's on television. Look at it. He comes up to Jack and he stands on Jack's toes, and he does it again and does it 3 times, and Jack ends up getting sent off. Even although we got it rescinded, Jack gets sent off. That's all I'm saying. I'm
not disagreeing with what you're saying about specifically Broadfoot, but I think it's wider than him. I think
every one of them.
Big Shinny and May for Aberdeen. There are a couple of Motherwell players are at it as well. The first thing they do is they go right through Rangers players, and they get away with it, and they do it all the time.
Well, there's one for you guys. When was the last time we had a Rangers team without what we classified as a right hard guy? We don't have one. The hardest guy we've got that keeps getting hammered, and we know that he's not that hard, is Morelos. So part of our problem as well, we've got to have somebody on the park that can stand up for themselves. And I'm sorry, guys, we're sadly lacking in that department.
Absolutely. That and a leader.
Can I just go in there? We've also been joined by Rudy Bear, who's been sitting for a couple of minutes. Evening, Rudy.
Rudy. Evening, guys. Evening, Bridgeman.
Evening, Rudy.
Before you start, what do you have for your dinner tonight, boy?
Oh, the message is away, Bridgeman. So it was a nice wee chicken curry out of
I was just going to say that there. Somebody else made it.
The wee Chinese man up the road made it for me. It was lovely.
Well said, pal. Well said.
I had to cleanse my football brain, to be honest, on Sunday night after watching that game at the weekend. I'm getting so sick. I'm sitting here listening to all you guys talking about the tackles that Rangers players have to suffer, and it's an absolute disgrace. I've watched the last 4 games. Well, I've watched all the games, but in the last 4 games alone, some of the tackling I've seen has been absolutely diabolical, and how players get away with that. And welcome to Scottish football, a football league that's riddled with hammer throwers and talentless thugs, in my opinion, now, and I'm sick and tired of watching it. On Sunday night, I had to cleanse my football brain. I sat and watched Real Betis against Barcelona. What a game of football. Talent all over the park, and both sides. Barca won 4-1, But I tell you what, Real Betis didn't have put a fight up here, you know. And the difference between the two teams was Messi. That boy never got a single bad tackle in the whole game, and he scored a hat-trick. I never seen a bad tackle in the full 90 minutes. There's one or two wee tackles here or there, you know. They got a foul for it, either side. Not once did I see a player go right through another player the way they do here in Scottish football. This is a backwater of a league that we're playing in. An absolute joke. And the referees and the media in the country are partly to blame for it because they're not calling it out for what's truly happening. And I'm getting sick of watching it now. After the weekend there, that just absolutely disgusted me, the amount of tackles that they get away with before any of them even get a booking. And I'm fed up with it now. I really am. I don't know what we can do about it. And I don't want to keep going on about referees. I think we should have the talent to take teams like Kilmarnock apart. And it's all I'm saying, we should have a hard man in the midfield and we should be stronger and be able to stand up to this. But how many times have you seen a Rangers player getting booked for next to nothing? Or in Ryan Jack's case, sent off 4 times, 2 yellow and red cards rescinded, and a third one that should have been rescinded, but the SFA just couldn't stomach it, so they never rescinded the third one that should have been rescinded. And that's why Rangers players are no capable of standing up to teams like Motherwell, Kilmarnock, Aberdeen, Hibs. We can't, because if Rangers players attempt to do that, they'll be sent off. They won't get away with what players in Kelly, Aberdeen, like that, the way they tackle. Rangers players will not get away with making tackles like that. Never in a million years will referees allow Rangers players away with that. And I'm sick of watching it. I really am, folks. I just can't stomach it any longer because it's an ongoing thing and it's game after game after game now. The last 4 games alone, the tackles, some of the tackles that is getting in Rangers players is just absolutely shocking to watch. And the way they just keep getting away with it. And they've got a wee system. You see their wee system with their centre-backs on Morelos. One will have a couple of goes at him, you know, and then he might get a yellow card after 3 or 4, maybe 3 or 4 tackles, bad tackles with me, Alfredo. So the next one, he'll move off him, and the next one will move on to Alfredo. And then as soon as Alfredo reacts, they're splashed at our media. It's our papers, big bad Alfredo. But nobody ever picks up. Nobody ever picks up on what happens to Alfredo. The tackles, you know, the intimidation that he gets all the way through the game. How that wee man hasn't knocked somebody's lights out by now is totally beyond me, because I would have done it by now. I'd have put one of them in their back by now.
I'll tell you what, Rudy, I'm not being funny, mate. Forgive me for interrupting. If he, Alfredo that is, if he gets an offer at the end of the season, if an offer comes in for him, he'll want to go. He'll not want to stay here. He won't want to stay here. He's getting battered and pilloried. And for anybody in a responsible position in the BBC, for instance, and I'm not being funny, forgive me for mentioning them again, guys in the lobby, I know they hate to hear about them, but for anybody like Michael Stewart and that Guy Thompson, and all they do is pick out Morelos. All they do is pick out Morelos. Every other foul that they spoke about with Aberdeen, it was a yellow card, and in some instances it had been a yellow card. Physically, the referee gave a yellow card, and I thought a couple of them should have been reds, and they said no, a yellow card was enough for these tackles, and they never showed every tackle, to be honest. And I thought to myself, well, there you go. It's a whitewash by the BBC. Absolutely scandalous.
Go ahead, Jimmy.
100%, Fox. Bridgeman. I watched Starler and Waldorf again, as I said, last night, and Michael Stewart said that the referee got every instant right apart from 2, and he said that Goldson should have been sent off, and he said at the very most, he says the fella attacked, that's the only word I can put for it, Eris Gresda, was a booking at the very, very most. Now, if you remember back a couple of weeks ago at St Johnstone game, where Fred slid in, he had one of his legs, he studs up, and the referee couldn't wait. He ran halfway across the park to book Fred at the Govan stand side. And that tackle, or that mugging that Eras Gresda got on Saturday was 10 times worse than what happened to Fred, and yet there was no action taken. Yet this guy, Michael Stewart, said that at the very, very most, it was a booking. And in the same thing he's saying, I mean, Alfredo Morelos needs to watch what he's doing. You know, he lashed out there at Clubfoot. But I mean, he needs to learn for these things now. And that was it, kind of washed away. No mention of that Broadfoot sluddy studs down the back of Alfredo's leg. And he's bloody quite entitled to lash out that way. Because he must have scraped down the back of his calf. So we're getting nothing after them all. The BBC bias is disgusting. And as I said to you, we'll need to wait till tomorrow and see 12 o'clock tomorrow when the announcement's made that whether there's any action taken against any of the players in any of the games at the weekend. And you better believe that there'll be something will happen to Fred tomorrow. I'm 100% sure that they'll turn around and try and make an example of him just so that he misses the next game against the Puddle Drinkers. It's absolutely scandalous what they're getting away with. The tackle on Eras Gresda near the end of the game was absolutely shocking.
It was the worst tackle of the game, Jimmy. The worst.
It was assault. It was assault.
Of course it was. Of course it was.
Absolutely disgusting, you know, and they're getting away with it all the time. I know I said earlier on that we shouldn't complain about the referees and make that an excuse for the defeat, but I wasn't trying to cover that up. The fact of the matter is, I said it in my piece and all that, we're getting refereed different from everybody else, and it's there to be shot down. The stats are there to show it. It's absolutely disgusting, and I mean, it's time something was done. It's time that Rangers stood up here. I'm not just talking about owning the part, but the board and that and whatever needs to come out and start making statements here that they feel that things are no going the way they should be. 7 minutes injury time and penalty kicks good and we could go on and on, guys. It's just absolutely disgusting.
I agree with you, Jimmy. Can I just say, forgive me. I sat there and up to half time. I sat there and I watched that and I thought to myself, says to the guy next to us, we ain't going to win no league, and we ain't going to win any competition if this kind of crap is allowed. If this keeps getting allowed, and this Rangers no getting decisions, and I think Foxy mentioned it a wee bit earlier. Was it maybe Blue Star? From the off, it was wasting time. From the off, wasting time. Players just sitting down in the park saying they're injured. Somebody comes on, and then they got up, and I just can't believe. I just can't believe it. You know, it's been allowed with I thought a very inexperienced referee, and you can't blame him too much other than the fact that he's rubbish and useless. But it's Ibrox of 50,000 people there. There should never be a useless referee. Never. There should be a top-class referee there.
Man, see if you watch these games week in, week out, right? If you were a professional football player down south, or even in Europe, you know, maybe Germany, France, Spain, wherever you happen to be playing your football, this is like football for the medieval days. Some of the stuff that happens up here. Why would you possibly want to come up here and play football against these hammer throwers? You would. I certainly wouldn't. Why would you come up here? Look at Graham. Let alone Graham Dorns he's been out for. Koulibaly was out. Jamie Murphy, Ryan Jack. All these boys have all had long-term injuries playing up here. I wouldn't want to come up here and play. No, certainly no for what I've seen in the last four games alone. I mean, you can go back right to the beginning of the season and even last season as well. You know, players out with long-term injuries because of tackles. You know, I wouldn't want to come up here and play. This is a backwater of a league. And unfortunately, we've got to play in it. So we have.
Well, we've had a good moan about the tackling and the referees and everybody else. Let's get back to the game. Was there any positives for MD in that team?
Yeah. Stephen Davis, for me, I had a right go about Stephen Davis, so I did. I thought Stephen Davis, we saw a wee bit of what we got off him before, Fox, to be honest with you. Me and Blue Star have had a good moan about Stephen Davis in the last couple of weeks. They said he had that producing. Well, I tell you what, I thought he had an excellent game at the weekend. I really did. I was impressed with Stephen Davis, I have to say.
I agree there. I agree.
Yeah, I think everybody agrees on that.
Yeah.
Also, I was impressed the way the manager changed the team at half time, and he brought on Barisic, and I thought Barisic had quite a good game, to be honest. But like every other Rangers player, you come up against a brick wall who are just kicking lumps at you. There's not much you can do.
Fredo's turn and goal. Fantastic turn.
Fabulous.
Minded me of the wee Dutchman we used to have, just the way he turned and rolled his player and hit the ball. It was lovely. Lovely to watch.
Yeah.
It's just as well he did, because we were only getting one for anywhere else.
No, and he wasn't getting much service either, was he? I mean, the boys that were getting piled into him, some of your passing's atrocious when we're putting the ball across goals.
Yeah.
And I watched Liverpool, the way Liverpool played. They passed the ball about a hell of a lot, a lot of possession. How much it goes across the park? I bet it's not half the percentage we put across the park. They at least put interspersed their across the road passes with forward passes, and it's sharp, quick, and decisive. And when they break fast. We can break fast at times when we get away, but this continually reminded me. I don't want to mention his name, but it reminded me of the Breeds tactics at times. Just holding that ball and going. We need to start passing the ball forward. I'm quite sure if we had boys going through the front, getting passed forward to front players and them turning and losing the ball, I'd rather see that as the way we're going now, because we're just we don't make. I've said it before. We don't make other teams think. We need to start making the other teams think what we're doing, no think what they want to do, because the way they're playing the new, they're thinking what they want to do and they're executing it and they're stifling us. We should be having them in turmoil, no knowing what we're going to be doing next. And if we just pass the ball across the goals all the time, it's too easy. We're taking the easy road out. We've got players there that aren't prepared to take that chance, run into the box or pass the ball forward. I mean, Jesus, suffering the amount of times Tavernier get the ball in the wing and passed it back, ran up the wing a bit and then passed the ball back. It's just nauseating. Absolutely nauseating.
I'd like to agree with you, Cairo. That's the sort of football I would like to see, short, quick, forward passing. But what do you do when there's 10 men blocking out every pass that you can see?
You do the same as
Liverpool play in a completely different league for us, mate, where they don't play against 10 men behind the ball. You watch any game in the Premier Division, even the team that's Bolton, mate, don't totally shut up shop. Yeah. Sometimes they come out and have a go. That doesn't happen.
They've got better players down there.
But
and
you need the room.
A lot of teams, they play 10 men a hit the ball down there, the likes of the Fulhams and that. The thing is, when Liverpool play again, I mean, I'm only using Liverpool as an example. Just if you want to play that type of football, you've got to pass the ball forward sometimes, folks, for goodness sake. There were times as well, look at a couple of bad decisions, but Tavernier no passing the ball to Candace in the game, one of the games where if he passes it to Candace, at least he's getting a shot at goal. There are a couple of bad decisions, but the bulk of the time, and in the second half, we started to play a wee bit and we started to move some forward passes and it was starting to work for us. That first half, it was atrocious, absolutely atrocious. And I don't mean that they weren't. The way they were playing, there were no penetration there at all. If you watch Liverpool, the way they play that same type of football, even if you watch the likes of Crystal Palace, who are not the greatest team, I know they depend on the big Hingway too much. I can't mind his name, Sahar, whatever his name is, too much. But even the way they ping the ball about, we've got to go forward some of the time. Make that other team. Don't let the other team play the game they've planned. Have them thinking what we're doing. And all the way you do that is by getting at them. And another thing, we don't have a player that takes a man on other than weekend. And when he's on, when he's not. Nobody else does. Nobody else runs at players. Nobody.
Well, we were listening to the game and it was Archie Knox. It was co-commentary with Tom Miller. And as I say, Knox said the whole game, Fox will verify this, he kept mentioning the same thing by saying there's no players committing themselves. He says, if you're playing against a packed defence, he says, you must have 2 and 3 players. He says, at all times, he says, taking players on. So what you're saying is right. You're really only having Kent. But then again, there's another way of looking at it. See, any time one of your players did play a forward pass, no sooner had somebody went for it and they were up in the air. I mean, they were just getting hit.
And that's blocked all the way. Yeah, get blocked all the way.
I know, but I mean that's fine. But then you get free kicks and you take the free kicks. But if that team's happy to sit in there and they're happy to let you play across the ball. They're none of your players taking the responsibility. They're taking a man on a playing a forward pass. Teams like Kilmarnock, teams like Motherwell, teams like Dundee, teams like anybody, Aberdeen in particular, who like to play in the break anyway, they'll exploit that, and they'll let you do it all bloody day. They'll let you have 1,000 passes, as long as when they get the ball, they can put it up between one or two defenders who are lying sleeping, and they've got somebody fast to run through them. And it's, every team that's played against us for the past 3 years has done it.
Cairo, I noticed the best pass of the day was Tavernier's, and strangely enough, it's probably the only pass he made most of the day. But he made a fabulous pass, maybe 40, 50 yards, right to the feet of Alfredo Morelos, and he scored the goal. That's when he managed to turn the player. So a tremendous pass out of defence, right up to the centre forward, and I thought that was just an amazing piece of football by Tavernier, who's been, to me, badly out of form, and a shadow of the player with a confidence in just a shadow of the player we've had even at the beginning of this season.
Can I ask a question, folks?
Yeah.
Can I have your opinion on why you think McCrory isn't getting even a sniff of a game? For me, in games like that, and we know McCrory can put in rash challenges, but come on, with the challenges we've seen in the last 2 and 3 games, he's a boy compared to some of these guys. But at least you would have a bit of fight, a bit of presence in the midfield. He's not even getting a sniff. And every single person I know I've spoke to, every blog I've been on, they all say the same thing. Why is he not getting a sniff? Does anybody have any clue? Because I find it absolutely inconceivable that he can bring the one we all thought was going to get Celtic at the end of the season, the colour boy. Koulibaly. I mean, Koulibaly's been frozen out. Then all of a sudden he gets brought in Saturday. And McCrory's nowhere to be seen. Doesn't it make sense
for me personally, mate, I don't think McCrory's... I'm not saying he's any worse, but he's no any better than the defensive midfielders we've got. He does add a bit of physicality. But what's our undoing is we've not got enough creative players. And McCrory isn't more creative than anybody else that's got the position at the moment, mate. I don't think. That's my only thing I can think. I would play him in tough games against, like, say, Aberdeen, probably in Kilmarnock, if he was the only sitting defensive midfielder. But we've got this system now where we're playing 2 defensive midfielders. And they want them to go box to box. They want them for Jack and Kamara when they're playing at the moment to cover both grounds. And when it gets to the box, mate, McCrory's going to lose the ball before then. I think that's his reason, mate. He's still young, he's still got time to learn, but I think as I said before, Kamara came in for his first game. We were all pleasantly surprised with him. Looked as though he could pass the ball, win the ball. And for me, I think that's what Steven Gerrard was looking for. And McCrory just hasn't got the same technique as some of him or Jack, you know.
He's got a bit of steel about him, Fox. He's got a bit of dig about him. That's one thing he does have.
That's no a problem at the moment.
McCrory couldn't have done just as good as Koulibaly at the weekend.
Aye, I would agree. That's the only one. Yeah. I think I didn't agree. I would have had Andy Halliday in the midfield rather than at left back, mate, because Halliday's likely to shoot and score a goal for you.
Yep.
And when he plays or he does get forward, he'll have a pop. But I don't get. I've said for the first couple of early games, mate, I didn't fancy Koulibaly because he had no skill on the ball for me.
I just think we're badly lacking in physicality, and for me, out of every player we've got, I think McCrory can get it out as well as take it, far more than most of the players we've got. Certainly, come this summer, I'm reading on the blog here, the guy Barry Gerrard says there's no doubt about it. Stevie G's got to bring in, if he's bringing in 3, 4, 5 players, they all must be tried and tested. None of us young boys that are coming for teams that we've never heard of, they've got to be guys that are going to walk into our team and make us far, far, far better. They've got to be.
Aye. I didn't think I would ever say this, guys, but I thought we missed Worrell Saturday. There you go. I thought we missed Worrell.
Well, see, when you're on that, so I was quite pleasantly surprised by Big Katic, mate. I don't blame him for the goal that we lost. I thought he won every ball in the air that he went for. I thought he had a decent introduction back into the team for me. And out of the three centre halves we've got, mate, I still prefer him to the other two.
Yeah, I think if you cast your mind back to the first 5 or 6 touches he had in the first half, he put the ball at the park.
I thought he came on probably nervous, mate, at first coming back into the team.
Maybe.
And you keep saying you want a big centre half, 6'5".
Absolutely.
Solid. Well, that's what Katic is.
I want him to be able to play football and be hard as nails. That's what I'm looking for. A killer. Well,
you go into that. You go into that bank book of yours and gaze 20.
It's a dream.
I'll tell you what, guys. See, whenever I think we had 5 or 6 corners. See, every corner when Katic went up, there was 2 and 3 guys hanging on to him at every one. Every corner ball, he was either flung to the ground or he was held, because they all know that the big guy can get to a ball in the air. That's for sure. But going back to the goal, guys, you can't. I don't even fault our 2 centre halves. Honestly, I fault McGregor. What McGregor was doing out there is nobody's business, because he had no need to come out there. Katic was following the guy. I didn't get it. The goal was done to McGregor for me, 100%.
I agree.
Katic wasn't catching that boy.
But he was shoving him out to the side. He was pushing him away to the left.
He wouldn't have caught that boy in a month of Sundays. That boy was gone. That was a fabulous pass that caught our defence out, and the goalkeeper thought he'd be able to see it and fix it, and he made a complete utter arse of it.
Alan McGregor ended up 5 yards outside his box.
Of course, I'm saying that. He ran out thinking he could fix it.
He shouldn't have done, though, Bridge. He shouldn't have done.
No,
he should have let Katic just go with it, see what happened, and then dealt with whatever happened, whatever was coming his way. It didn't have to be that far out his box.
It's a defensive mistake again. Another early goal at Ibrox. Another early goal lost at Ibrox. And we don't get me wrong, we've lost quite a few early goals at Ibrox, and we've managed to pull ourselves around in a lot of times. And even on Saturday, we actually managed to pull ourselves around. But my goodness gracious, it was a battle for us, an absolute battle.
Yeah.
Anybody else want to add in before we go to a tune shortly?
I think there's a whole load of them waiting in the tunes, because the dance is going to start in there.
Terry will give me the thumbs up when he's ready, mate.
Okay. Can I just say, it was wonderful on Saturday at the bistro, and I met young 4 lads at our lobby there for the first time. Him and his wee boy Alexander. So a big shout out to them too. Fantastic to meet them, and lovely young lad, lovely. Both him and his son, lovely boys.
I was talking about the football, no your social life there, but
sorry, pal. Sorry.
Last word to Cairo before we go to a tune. Is Cairo still there?
He'll be in the rain. He'll be singing in the rain.
Right, okay, we'll just go to a tune, mate. If you don't mind, I'll go on a mute.
Every other sitter is my off day off, and it's off to the match I go. Happily we wander down the Paisley Road, me and my wee pal George. We'll love to see the lasses with their blue scarves on. We'll love to hear the boys all roar. But I don't have to tell you that the best of all, we'll love to see the Rangers score. When the European Cup, as we've done with everyone
Thanks very much for that, old school. Thank you. I think we'll move on for the game. The thing that I've been hearing on the telly and radio stations is Steven Gerrard no much better in the points total than Murty and Kitsina. I've got a question to ask you. Out of the rest of the teams, where were Celtic at this time last year? Where were Aberdeen in the points total? Where were Kilmarnock and where were Hearts? Is it only Rangers that haven't done much better this season? Anybody want to answer that?
Don't all shout at once.
Because I'm having a rough guess here that Celtic aren't any better off than they were last year. I think Aberdeen are probably behind where they were last year. And I would say the same with Kilmarnock, Hearts and Hibs, mate. So why is it such a big thing that Steven Gerrard's just the same as Kishina and Murty? That's my question.
Well, all season, folks, the media's been telling us that every other team stepped up and they're better than last year.
I would agree. I think in general teams are better, and they're not much better, but they're better at defending this year for me. But I'd say, honest to God, well, Lennon's took care for the £3 million or £4 million a year manager, and I don't think their points total is much better if it is better than last season. As I said, and I doubt if Aberdeen and Kilmarnock have got any more points than they had last season, but the emphasis seems to be on Steven Gerrard.
Yeah. Well, that's just the way the press do it, isn't it? At the end of the day, there is only one team that they want to criticise, and that's Rangers. They don't want to criticise anyone else. It's only Rangers. So it's not
only just the press, mate. I'm talking about our own support now. I've jumped on this bandwagon as well.
Yes, but they take their lead for the stories that are being released, don't they? They're on social media, and it's coming out through social media too. So people are leading them to a certain extent. And yeah, there are some guys who are quite realistic and say, well, by the way, I know we spent a lot of money on Gerrard. We spent to put all the players that he wanted in, and admittedly within limits, of course, money-wise. And he's still only 1 or 2 points of a difference between him and Kashina. But Kashina spent probably twice as much as Gerrard spent overall. So they're going to do that. They're going to look at the players that were signed under Gerrard, and they're going to say, well, how are we doing? And the truth of the matter is, we're doing a wee bit better because we're playing against better teams. The teams are a wee bit better, but we're far superior point-wise to where we were last year against the teams round about us, i.e. Aberdeen and so on and so forth. We're better against them, but we're not a great deal better against the puddle drinkers, as Jimmy would say.
Can I come in there, Fox? You better start for you, mate. This time last season, compared to this time last season, the puddle drinkers are 3 points worse off. Rangers are a point better off. Aberdeen are 4 points worse off. Kilmarnock 5, Hearts 3, and the Spoonburners 6.
But according to the press, it's only Steven Gerrard that's failed. But
exactly,
that's my point.
Exactly. What they did is I saw the bit. I read the bit you're talking about, that they put Steven Gerrard's record up with a combination of Kashina and Murty, and they're saying that how it's a failure and all that. That was at Keith Jackson. It was doing all the comparing. Everybody is less points. You know. I've just put the tables up, you know, so we're all, but the ones that are the worst aren't getting in the neck. Rangers are getting in the neck because they think nothing better than to get to Rangers again.
Because they're feared, Jimmy. They don't want us getting up.
Of course they don't, Blue Star, but I mean, but we're just going through the same as we did last season. You know, we ended up 12 points behind the puddle drinkers last season when we finished third.
Well, that's what I would say, guys. See if you knew on in, and I know we're going to have 2 games against them and the rest of the top 6 at the split. But I'll tell you what, if I was Stevie G, I would be hammering our players and telling them we need as many points as we can get out of these last 8 games, and really hammering it home, because he will, much as he's up against it now, he'll be even more up against it, including worrying fans, because If we fall further behind, you know what they're going to hit them with. Look at the stats. We were level with at the last international breaks, and now we're hardly winning a game. And to a certain extent, that's true. And that's why our players, they have to step up. And we know we've got mitigating circumstances when it comes to referees and all that. But the proof of the pudding's in eating it. Some of our players have let us down. We can't get away from that. They should be stepping up, because they should be saying to themselves, if I don't step up in these last half dozen games, this guy could get rid of me. And if you were a decent football player at all, let's be honest, that's exactly what you would be thinking. Why would you want to be going to lower league teams? Because they're not going to get another team like Rangers after them. Do you know what I mean?
Exactly. So, as Fox said, it seems to be that they're always wanting to go for Steven Gerrard again, because he's up there to be shot down, so that's what they're doing to us.
But that's the carrying on with their usual agenda, though, Jimmy. I mean, you've just mentioned most of the teams there that would be in the top 6 this season and last season.
Yeah.
And all the teams that you mentioned there, they've all got less points than what they had at this time last season. And Rangers are the only team that's actually got 1 point more than last season. But Rangers is getting it, Steven Gerrard's getting it, but nobody else is getting it. They're not taking into consideration that he goes into the Europa League, the group stages of Europa League. We had a 14-game run in Europe, where we only lost 2 games in Europe in that run.
I think we need to realise that these. Sorry, Rudy, I do apologise, but I do apologise. Sorry.
No, I was just going to finish off there, but
go on.
14 games in Europe is progression. Anybody that looks at that and doesn't think that's progression, well, I don't know where they were the season before that, when a bunch of bricklayers and plumbers put us out of Europe, you know what I mean? It's just continue with their agenda, that's all they're doing.
Just before we move on, if anybody would like to agree or disagree with any of the panel members, they can phone in on 0141 356 1972, or they can join us on Skype at rangersradio.online, where you'll be brought into the call. Can I just say one more thing? A lot of people are phoning in, but they're hiding their numbers, and we can't bring them in if they hide their numbers. It always gives us a fear that there's something to hide. So that's why if you're phoning in, your number's blocked, it will not be taken. Okay.
Can I just come in on that now? Can I come in on that, guys, please? We have to realise, as Rangers fans, which we probably all know what's happening, but can I just say it without putting in another elephant in the room? They are trying to run a campaign to get rid of our manager and turn us against the manager and the manager against the club. That's the campaign.
And half of our own fans, Bridge, are falling for
I'm saying that. They're trying to turn our fans against our manager and the manager against the club. And that's what's happening. And it's happening as clear as day. And the manager's getting criticised, and he knows that he's getting criticised from among our own support. And some of the criticism may be well justified. Depends on how sort of brutal you want to be with it. We know we sit there on Saturday, and it was brutal to watch, and to lose a goal like that so early in the game, it just killed us.
There's a stat there just been put on the lobby. In the last 4 games against Gers, there's been 22 yellow cards, and 17 of them have all came late in the second half. Does that not tell you a story? In other words, the whole of the first half in all those 4 games, there was hardly a yellow card given against them. You're kidding me, Owen.
It's a campaign. It's a big campaign, and it's all to do with destroying everything about Rangers. And that's no kidding. They're trying to get under their skin. They're trying to do all the rest of it. All the good work that the board have done, and I know they've done some good work, and still to do more. And all the good work that Steven Gerrard's done, getting his 14 games in Europe, just fabulous, just utterly fabulous for our club from where we were a few years ago.
And to the media, it's an irrelevance.
And I've been saying to you for a long time, guys, and you've heard me saying it. I know I talk a lot of crap and all the rest of it to some folk, but really and truly, we as a club need to be able to find something within ourselves to do something about the media. We really do. We need to do something about the media, particularly the biggest broadcaster in the country, which is the BBC. Both the radio and television have got not one thing positive to say about Rangers or any Rangers player or our manager. Nothing. It's just pure hatred.
Guys, see, Alexa, going back to the tables and that. Last season that we finished, we lost 10 games. right? This season so far, we've only lost 4.
Yeah.
Okay, the puddle drinkers, right? They've lost 4 as well. Our big bugbear's been the draws.
Yeah.
You know, so there has been a lot of good progress that way. We know we're not won anything this season, and there's a good chance we're not likely to do that and all. But we lost 10 games in the whole season last season, and this season with 8 games to go, we've lost 4, and the puddle drinkers have lost 4 as well. But I mean, we've drawn 5 away and 4 at home. And the puddle drinkers have drawn 1 at home and 3 away. So we're drawing too many games. We don't seem to be able to finish teams off. So there has been progress, you know. And I know we're all, a lot of guys out there, we're all despondent and that. And nobody's more despondent than me. You know, gets you down when the Gers are not doing well. But there has been progress. And what we need to do is get behind the manager. And I know there was boos at half-time and full-time, but what I would say is I think that a lot of the boos were mainly for the referee on Saturday. I don't think there was 100% with the team. So, you know, some guys are saying, they were booed off again and that. No, they weren't. No, everybody boos Rangers. I nearly used a word there, I shouldn't have used it. But I think it was a referee that got most of the boos. So, there has been progress, but we know what we need the team to do next season, and that's to bring in a big centre half. Another striker probably is going to be there because Fred will not be there. And I wouldn't blame Fred for going because he's getting kicked out of the park and he's no getting protection. So if we get 20 million for him, thanks very much, Fred. I hope I'm wrong, but I just don't see him being here next season. So on the games won and lost, there's been progress, but unfortunately, we just didn't seem to have that killer touch in front of goal.
Yeah, I mean, you were touching on Alfredo there, right? They don't rate him in Scotland. That's all you ever hear after the pun. The problem, he's trouble, all this stuff. All the papers, the radio, sports programmes, you name it, it's the same agenda against Alfredo. See the same people that's coming out and saying that. See when he leaves at the end of the season, which, like yourself, Jimmy, I don't want him to leave, but I'm pretty sure he will. See the same people that's pushing that agenda, they'll be the same ones that's running about punching the air because that wee man's left and took the goals with him that he scored for us this season.
Yeah.
The same people that are about punching the air, Jimmy, like he's gone.
I heard Cairo earlier on talking about the Scotland team and all that, and you all know my feelings about Scotland, you know, about the tartan trannies and that. I don't support them, you know, and I'm glad that Alan McGregor's no there, you know, walking about with the daft CU Jimmy hats, you know. So there's probably going to be 6 puddle drinkers playing in the team, and I was arguing with a guy, and I was arguing with the guy today, right, and he's a blue nose, right, and you need to support your Scotland team and all that. And I'm like, wait a minute, you're going to actually cheer a goal that's scored by a puddle drinker? That doesn't wash with me, you know. Scottish football's done in the sense is that we're not playing good football, and that's no Rangers' fault. And yet everything seems to be thrown upon Rangers. The football that teams are playing against us is anti-football.
Yep.
It's rubbish football. 10 across the back, and that is what some of them are doing. Putting 10 right across the box, it's absolutely disgusting. Kicking us off the park, you know. So let's hope that we finish. I mean, I think we will finish the season and up with a flourish, and come back refreshed for the next season. And obviously in the coming weeks, probably next week when it's the rest of the week when we'll get the international break, we maybe start talking about European football next season. I've got my thoughts on that. I know Fox has, but we can maybe talk about that at later days. But I'm confident that the gaffer will get everything right. So there has been progress. Maybe not the progress that we all thought when we brought Steven Gerrard in, but there's been progress. He's made a few stinking signings, but you tell me what other managers have they made stinking signings? And we'll just go
Jimmy, what you said there, you're bang on. Take all the draws. See if we'd even won, say, 3 or 4 of all the draws. We'd be sitting top.
Of course.
And that's no winning all the draws. That's only taking half of them. So there's the progress. we know where we were last season. I was one of the worst critics of Morelos. I've got to be honest, guys. For me, he was a wee young boy and he was petulant and I thought he was vastly over-exaggerated. See, this season, despite his sending-offs, I'll tell you something. You only need to look at that one goal there on Saturday. The way he turned that guy, and the guy had his arms round him and everything, and the wee guy still wriggled round him and smashed the ball in the net. See, down in England, you don't get tackled like that. You get space when you're time on the ball, and that's how your English players, when they come up here, they say they can't believe, they all think our league's pure crap, which it is, but they can't believe that they don't get any time on the ball because they're used to it down there. We Morelos would run riot down there with a half-decent side. You imagine the balls that would be getting put through to him. He's not even getting half-decent balls put through to him with Rangers, and he's still scoring goals. That's the way to look at it. What would they do with great service?
29 goals for the season is superb, isn't it, Blue Star?
Exactly, and he's not getting great service. Let's be honest here. He's no. He would, if he was getting great service, he could be blooming well. He would be well in the 40.
Absolutely, I agree with you, mate.
Yeah,
definitely. I think he's a marvellous wee player.
Tremendous.
I've liked him through these first stages for his work rate at first. Misses a lot of what we would term as easy chances, but scores some terrific goals. And there's been many a striker at Ibrox that had the same traits, missed a lot of sitters, but always there.
Yep.
And the first name that comes to your heat is McCoy's mate, who missed tons of sitters, but was always there to take on the next one. And I do believe, mate, it's down to lack of service and the way teams are playing against us, you know.
About it.
And if he was playing for the puddle drinkers, mate, the press would be all at it, mate. What a marvellous young talent he is. Coming from a foreign country, settling down so quick, and managing to be top goal scorer, which he will be in the league this year. And no, they just want to see the back of him. It's all about his temperament, you know.
I tell you what, if he was playing for the puddle drinkers, Fox, he'd be refereed differently as well. I can assure you of that. The agenda of the game and the press would be completely different, as you say. But I don't have any doubts that Alfredo will go on to play in a bigger league than Scotland, and he'll going to become a star, Alfredo, because the older he gets, the better he'll get. I think he's a brilliant wee player. And I'd hate to see him go at the end of the summer. I'm sure most of the Bears would. And I was a bit like Blue Star, to be honest. The end of last season, I could have seen the back of him the end of last season, you know. If we'd have got a few quid for him, I would have took it. I would have punted him. But
he's most assuredly the best player we've got, Rudy. Yes, and I would suggest he's one of the best, all round the best, one of the best players in Scotland. He really is a top class. That goal he scored was, to me, European class goal. Class goal. To turn a huge big defender like that and have him eating out his palm of his hand, just fabulous.
Any other player, Bridge, would have been on the deck. Because his low centre of gravity stopped him from actually going onto the deck, and he still managed to smash it into the net. It was a tremendous turn. Absolutely tremendous.
You know where I sit, guys? I'm not kidding. It's right on the same angle where the ball was coming in. It was just fabulous to watch. The whole place just erupted. When they saw him getting through, and he flicked it, and he's gone. Bang! What a goal. Fabulous goal. Just love him. I love him to bits. Love him to bits. What a player. We're sorry to see him go when he goes, but I really do think what we've got in our hands is, remember about 4 years ago with that young boy Nathan Adua, and my God, did he get pilloried up here for his skills. Yeah. He's showing off some fabulous skills, and he absolutely
slaughtered one for them. You guys. See when we had the best midfield in Britain, see when we had Alberts, wee Barry, etc., etc. Can you imagine the goals that Fred would have scored with that lot? Oh my! He would have broke every record going. So he would have.
By the way, don't forget he's got a marvellous record in assists as well.
Absolutely,
some great assists.
But last night they were talking about the McGregor guy for the puddle drinkers who's just come back after an injury and the comment that it's great to see him back. By far the best player in Scotland. And you say to yourself, Christ almighty, man. I mean, there's only one great player in Scotland now, and that's Alfredo Morelos, and you're not even going to give him credit. Because he's not a puddle drinker. We ain't going to lie in your pish.
I'll not get much applause for this, but I do think McGregor's a great wee player, myself. I like football players, and I think he's also a young boy that's improved immensely over the last couple of years. So credit where credit's due. He is a good player.
Yeah, I'm not saying he's not a great player, but what I'm saying, Fox, is that give Fred credit. You know, he's due the credit, but he doesn't get it. And that angers you, you know. I think McGregor's a cracking wee player and all, you know, and I think he'll go far. He'll not go far with the puddle drinkers, you know. He'll maybe do better away from them. But no, give Fred credit. There's only one player in Scotland I know that's in fire, and that's Alfredo Morelos.
Do you think he'll get Player of the Year, Jimmy?
No, unless he scores another 10 goals, and even then it'll be a push. I said about 5 weeks ago, I'd be surprised if he didn't reach 40. I don't think that's going to happen unless he scores a couple of hat tricks. But
yeah, I still think he should get Player of the Year. I still reckon he should get Player of the Year. Every single defender, there's no doubt about it, who the best player they play against is, and it's Morelos. He gives them all the heart and the sun. Yeah. He's a fabulous player. Any centre half worth his salt can only say one name. And, you know, it's got to be Alfredo Morelos. He's just fantastic. He scored fabulous goals. Wonderful stuff. I don't know how many goals he's going to score overall, so he's very close to the 30. If he gets over 30, fucking hell, what are you going to say to a guy like that?
By the way, Brad, you're saying he'll maybe get Player of the Year. I don't think he said Player of the Month. Never mind Player of the Year.
I know that. I'm being a wee bit sarcastic with the Player of the Year.
He'll get Players Player of the Year. I don't know about the press writers. But he'll certainly get Players Player.
Well, if he doesn't come for Parkhead, if you follow what I mean, if he's not a puddle drinker player, then he's not going to be a real Player of the Year, is he? That's the truth.
Anyhow, guys, how do you think we'll get on in these next couple of games? And we've still got a fortnight to go. Do you think we're capable of coming out and beating them at Parkhead?
Of course we are. Well,
I think we're capable.
Of course we are. We have got a decent team, a good team. We've been saying that for months. You know, we wouldn't be watching them on the telly or going to the games as myself and Fox and Bridge that day and others on here. You know, the fact of the matter is we have got a decent team. It's just that for whatever reason they're just no gelling at some games. You know,
right, Jimmy, what if we've not got Goldson and Fred then, depending on the Mora? It was just... It's just because I'm thinking about it.
If we've not got Goldson and Fred, then obviously we've got Big Laugh and Defoe. But look, it's springtime, so we know what Big Laugh does in the spring. He likes to just come out there and bang them in. And I rate Big Laugh because I think he's got something still to offer us this season. I don't think he'll be here next season. I think they'll go. I think he's quite unhappy that he's not getting game time. He'd have been probably still playing for Hearts first team if he'd have been there. He took his chance to come back because he's a big blue nose. All right, look, our next two games are crucial games. Our next three, the puddle drinkers, Hearts at home, and the last game before the split is Motherwell away. So, we're more than capable of winning these three games. But look, we all know what Rangers turns up sometimes surprises us. We can play like Brazil the first half, and we can play like buffoons the second half.
Here.
I've always thought that, especially since the beginning of the season this year, that in an open game of football, no with 10 men behind the ball, we're as good or if no better than most of the league. I think the game at Parkhead might suit us because there's one thing for sure is they've only sit back and try to defend. They'll come out and try and beat us, same as they did at Ibrox, and I think once again we'll beat them again.
The way I see it, folks, I think you're bang on because look at us in Europe. We played some decent sides in Europe and they opened up and we played good football. Let's be honest about it. We did play good football. So as you say, they're not going to defend. We go out and we play our normal game. I think we've got every chance because we can play good football. And if we're not getting hacked all the time and we're playing against a team that's not putting 11 men behind the ball, I think we'll cause them all sorts of bother.
The fact is that we need to get there against the puddle drinkers in 2 weeks' time, right? Because if the day win, they're 13 points ahead. So that's an incentive for me, for the Rangers players. Look, guys, you need to go here. If they win the day, basically the league is over. Like, okay, we know in our heart of hearts it probably is over anyway, but we'll fight to the end. But let's not go here today and get rat-ass. Let's go here and try and win the game and play to the capabilities that we know we've got. So I'm confident that we'll get a result there on the day, hopefully. But these type of games don't seem to bother us in the sense that it's when we play at home. When we play at home against Hearts on the Wednesday night, it's what Rangers team turns up on that night and what Hearts do on the night as well. And then we go to Motherwell, the last game of before the split. They'll just do the same. They'll put 10 behind the ball. Rubbish football, anti-football. But can I just say a wee thing about the Celtic game? I know we're talking about... nobody's mentioned it yet. Did you see the letters of all the season ticket holders who were successful? That's disgusting.
That's all down to Jimmy because they can't organise the crowd, mate. We know what happened to the crush the last time under the Jane Field section. But to ask players, ask football fans to be there an hour before the kick-off for me is all wrong. They've got to meet up where all the Celtic supporters will be making their, if they're there at that time, making their way into Celtic Park, mate. I said after I was there, I think it was last season, said I'd never go back to that dump, and I mean it.
Can I interrupt you there, Fox? I've got it here. It's no an hour before kick-off, mate. It says Rangers fans must congregate at the Emirates Arena at 10:30 a.m. to be escorted into Celtic Park at 11 a.m. where they will be kept seated until the game commences at 12:30. Any fan who is late at the Emirates Arena will be kept at the Emirates Arena until the game kicks off, and then they will be escorted to the stadium. So the Rangers fans who have got tickets for that game will be there. It's a 12:30 kick-off. Will be there an hour and a half before the game.
So there you have it. There you have it, Jimmy. You just read it out. The police who failed the last time and caused which the report have never come out about what happened at Celtic Park. We only getting 800 tickets, and the police can't manage 800 Rangers fans. Nothing short of disgraceful. Nothing short of disgraceful.
At the final whistle, the Rangers fans will remain seated for 60 minutes after the final whistle, where they will then again be escorted back to the Emirates Arena.
Jimmy, going on to that, I know you'll have seen it. The thing about these so-called 9 puddle drinkers being on trial, that all the papers, all the jury papers and everything else all mysteriously disappeared, so they've no case for trial.
For the second time this month.
For the second time, Bridgeman, that's right. How unbelievable is that?
Oh, it's believable because we know them. We know them. But you're right, the word is unbelievable, really and truly. It's nothing short of shocking and a disgrace of a country that happening. Yeah. By the way, there'll be no apology. No apology.
Well, I don't. I mean, I know we're kind of digressing, but I don't watch them. I mean, I know that they won yesterday. No, but pal of mine who is watching it, he says, wait to see if sports scene mentioned the night. He says about the singing. Everything was getting sang at their game yesterday because it was St. Paddy's Day, and there was not one mention it last night on sports scene about sectarian singing. But don't get me wrong, you all know where I am and where I come from, probably the same as the rest is. I don't have a problem with the songs. If I'm allowed to sing my songs, then they should be allowed to sing their songs. That's the way it is. But we're getting it in an echo all the time, but there wasn't a mention about their songs yesterday. It's an absolute disgrace. What they get away with outside and inside our stadium is me. Without getting into any detail, there was there's a big story in the paper today about monies were set aside by Manchester City for you know what, and this lawyer has advised them to do the same. So what you reap, you sow. No, or you sow what you reap, whatever way you want to put it. So that might come home and boost them.
Well, Jimmy, that American billionaire, he seems relentless on the fact he's not letting it go, so here's hoping.
Can I just say, guys, back to the football a wee bit, particularly the Celtic game? I think the club are within their rights. They should be going to the what do you call them, the SFA and the SPFL. That's not acceptable to keep fans in for an hour. Not acceptable in any language. If they can't police 800 fucking fans, what chance have we got?
Yep.
I don't know what it is they want to do. They want them there 2 hours. 2 hours before kick-off.
Yep.
I think you've got that wrong, Bridge. I don't think it's no a case they can't handle 800 fans. It's the rest of the opposition fans that they can't control, mate.
That's what I'm trying to say.
I'll tell you another thing. They shouldn't let any Celtic supporters gather near their front doors either. And the Rangers bus must be allowed to drive right up to the door instead of running the hate gauntlet that they went through the last time they went there.
They should have the same fences that they demanded that was put up at Ibrox to cater for their fans. With 1,000 fans at there, the 800 fans. That's what they should have. All the way down to London Road, so the Rangers fans can walk up in safety, the same as they were. Simple as that. And that should include the bus driving up there without any problem, no impediments. If they can't do that, if the police can't do that, they shouldn't be doing the job, or Rangers should be just saying, keep your tickets, we don't want them.
They put the same wee silver barriers up at Rangers do at Ibrox, and they put the police along the side of them. How can they not do that? There only is
no, but the last time Celtic were at Ibrox, it was all changed. They actually secured the whole of that corner there from the outside, which included the edge of the ticket office. It was secured right down to that street that takes you down onto Broomlawn Road. That was the Celtic entrance, Celtic supporters' entrance. You know what I mean?
Yeah, but that's what I'm saying. Corner, there only is 800. It's not as if there's 13,000.
There was solid steel. There was solid steel barriers all the way down to basically to the road to Broomlawn Road. Why can't they do that at Celtic Park? Oh, for God's sake, what am I asking? I'm stupid. The last time we had the game at Celtic Park, they nearly crushed their own fans.
Their own fans.
Because they didn't know what they were doing.
Mm-hmm. So that's going to be Rangers supporters having to endure 4 hours. 4 hours. 4 hours. If you're going to do
the game and then kept in for an hour.
The safety advice notice is on Rangers FC website, and it's there, you know, and they're telling you what turnstiles the Gerrard fans have.
Range. I'm saying, honestly, God, guys,
they will receive a police escort across London Road to turnstile 66 and 67. It says it's estimated all visiting supporters will be inside the stadium by 11:15, after which the whole stadium footprint will be open for general access. Any Rangers supporter arriving after 11 a.m. should be aware that they are likely to be held in the assembly point at the Velodrome until after the match is kicked off and they can be safely escorted to the stadium. This decision has been taken in the interest of safety of all supporters attending the match and is supported by Police Scotland.
Wouldn't it be for me?
Guys, why is our club not coming out and retaliating on that?
Exactly.
Why are they not doing it?
They should. I'm not being funny when I say this. And Rangers club.
There's a guy put on the lobby there and he's bang on now. I stay out in the East End. What happens when you go to Parkhead Cross? There's no police there. So that's even before you go to the game. That's even when you come out of the game. We know we've got that no matter where you go. But what I'm saying is, why is our club not coming out and retaliating to that? Why is there not even a... As Jimmy says, you get it on the website and everything else, but our club's said absolutely nothing. That's not right. It's just not right.
I don't understand why the SPFL...
It's the police's demand.
And the SFA and the police, why are they saying that there's only... Look, honest guys, listen, there's only 800 fans. Why are 800 fans got to sit there or be there 2 hours before the game? What's that about? I'm sorry, what's that about? I don't understand that. You've got to be there 2 hours before the game. Where's the transport? What's happening? Why is it like this? And then you've got to stand there and for what, half an hour, 3/4 an hour, and then you're going to be escorted in? No, sorry guys.
Is the answer, guys, not to take tickets at all?
Not to take tickets, 100%. Response.
The last game I went to see the Jers playing the Puddle Drinkers, we get beat 3-2, and that scunnered me. That was me finished after that. We were winning 2-1 at half time, and Scott McDonald scored 2 in the second half. But we were right behind, obviously. At that time, we get a wee bit more fans, and we were at about 6 seats in for the segregation. There was a big scrambled egg Polish down in there, and I got hit in the side of your head with a 50p piece. I wish it had been a pound coin, and I picked it up. But I says to the copper, I says, by the way, they're throwing coins. And he says to me, sit the F and well done. He says, you'll get to jail. Right, that's it. And I looked at my pal, I said, I'm not having any of this. No. And I tried to get his badge number, but you know, his badge was off. His jacket. He didn't have it on.
Anyway, if MD's listening or MD's in the lobby or whatever would like to go into the game, the Rangers Celtic game, how do they feel about the way it's been set up for Rangers fans? They can give us a call on 0141 356 1972 or join us at rangersradio.online on Skype.
Well said there, Foxy boy, well said. Come on, boys, give us a wee call and let's get right into them. Remember, you're going to talk about.
No, what I think it is. I think it's basically because we've shut down the Broomloan stand to their fans and they're getting hit with 800 for the corner, guys. And I'm telling you, I've said for years, I'm not joking, I fully understand guys want to go to away games a day, but the unfair advantage they've had at Ibrox for so many years now is absolutely ridiculous. When they were coming out that tunnel and seeing a full end of green and white, our players were coming out their tunnel and they've got to look away to the right-hand side, away into a wee daft corner, and that's the way I look at it. It's in a wee daft corner away to the right-hand side, whereas they're coming out into our ground and they see a whole shed load of fans at one end. The best thing we've ever done was stopping them getting the Broomloan stand. I stand by it. I've said it for years, even before we started doing it. I genuinely thought they had an unfair advantage every time they came to Ibrox. And I think the best thing they can do is stop them all together, because that's why they've done this. I know they'll blame it and they'll say it's to do with the police. A lot of it's no, guys. You know it's no. A lot of that's down to Celtic Football Club because they're no arranging it so that the Rangers fans can get into the ground in a simple and easy way. And we all know it can be done because we've done it with them at Ibrox. End of story.
I don't think their stadium is good for.
No, I know that, Bridge. I know that.
No, what I'm saying is that I don't think their stadium is set out for any visiting fans at all. Not just Rangers
fans. They were right
fans.
the first time. Look what happened to their own fans. They couldn't even put them into the ground right.
They've got them and the police have got absolutely no idea what they're doing. And I say that in all honesty, they're paid, and I must say the police have paid an absolute fortune for it too. But really and truly, for that big crush that took place, wow, just wow. That was a few short minutes away from somebody getting really seriously hurt in there. And yet, the Rangers' name was mentioned because the Rangers Celtic match. Nothing to do with Rangers at all. Nothing. Absolutely nothing. And they don't know what they're doing, and they'll know what they're doing this time, and they think they're doing the right thing. They're going to get Rangers fans to score there 2 hours before kick-off. Who the hell goes to a game 2 hours before kick-off?
I'll tell you what.
The thing is, who represents the Rangers fans now?
Oh, I wouldn't know, pal. I dare say it's Club 1872.
And have they no come out and said anything?
Well, my uncle's high up in it, but I'll need to ask him.
What about the SLO? What about the young boy Greg?
That's it. It's Club 1872. Yeah. Oh, the sales. What do you call it? Oh my God, the supporters liaison officer.
SLO.
Yeah.
It's Craig Marshall. Greg Marshall.
Greg Marshall. Yeah.
He's as Dan on the Loudons and that. You know. So I mean, why did he not come out and make a statement? No, it's no. I know. I mean, I went to see many away games, or every away game, never missed a game. and I was a visitor to the Puddle Drinkers Dome many times and that, but that was my last game, and I decided I'm not going back to give my money. So,
quite right.
I can appreciate a lot of guys want to go to the away games, but for me, it's a no-no. Definitely.
They're putting up barriers. They're putting barriers up, and I don't mean physically. They're putting barriers up and treating fans like crap. Rangers fans are getting treated like crap. Why don't they just make a tunnel or make a way in? You know, how are they going to get there? Arrange football, get the fans to come in buses, whatever they want to do, but make sure you've got an area, a safe area of entrance and egress from the stadium. Simple as that. You've got to do it. That's what Rangers do.
No, the answer, Bridgeman. Don't go.
Don't go.
100%, pal. This time, absolutely. Absolutely.
You have to be sitting inside that ground for a full 2 hours before it, and a full 2 hours. You're joking.
No,
not in your life.
It'll be all right if we win, mate. But I wouldn't fancy sitting there if we didn't. You know, it's a long day then, isn't it?
By the way, I have to say, I think Rangers demanded that the Kilmarnock fans were kept in for an hour, half an hour or so on Saturday, and I think that's wrong. They should do the same thing. Get these boardings out, get the wee fences up, let the guys go down the Brimlone Road and away they go. Wherever they're going, away you go. At the same time as the Rangers fans, there's no need for segregation and separation like that. No need for it. The police should do their job right.
Yep.
Sorry, guys, I'm ranting again. I do apologise.
You're not ranting, mate. You're right.
It's not like you, Bridgeman.
No, I know.
Bridgeman, I know you turned up for the BBC demonstration. How was that, mate?
Well, it was quite actually quiet. I think it was Cairo maybe a better idea how many was there. In fact, Skipper was there as well. So I don't know how many were actually there. I thought roughly about 100, but it might not have been as many as 100. But I thought about 100. But truthfully, it was not the day for a demo, unfortunately. I was expecting it to be called off because I walked down from Ibrox subway station and I was absolutely drook it. And it never stopped raining. All the time we were there, it rained non-stop and rained all the way back as well when we got to Ibrox.
Do you think it was something that done a bit of good or what?
Well, I think it would have done a lot of good, but I think we may end up being a bit of a, shall we say, we could easily have ended up a bit of a laughing stock because the lack of numbers and what we were trying to say. But if it had been a really good day, for instance, then you could have got 1,000 or more Rangers fans there, and that would have made a better demonstration. But it was quite peaceful, no problems at all, and we're just holding the banner up against the BBC and the licence fee and all that nonsense. You know, okay. I don't know. There was the BBC. I've seen the BBC have never mentioned it.
No,
I think there was something in the Sun. No, but what I mean is that from a news perspective, the Sun sent reporters up, and they come up and asked Rangers fans if they would like to comment, what are we going to say, who is it against, and so on and so forth, you know. And they were told where to go. But I think the Sun
had one wee totty column, Bridgeman. Yeah, one wee totty columm on it. That was it.
We've got a long break now, guys, before the international break is finished. Any subjects that you think we should be looking into in this next 10 days? Anybody get any favourite subjects, and we can maybe I'll go for the lobby as well if anybody's got any decent subjects that they think should be spoke about on the programme. We're quite willing to take ideas.
Can I put Brexit forward?
No political shit.
Well, it's hardly political now. It's a bit of a comedy, isn't it? No, it's a bit of a comedy. Yeah, I understand. I'm just joking.
Obviously, the discussion should be phase now is who we need and any potential buys that we might have, and who do we see it's available. I mean, the gaffer's got to be looking at that. If he isn't, then he's not doing his job.
He said they already were, Jimmy.
They've already started. Him and Mark Allen have been looking at players and talking about players, and I'm sure they'll have 3 or 4 names already that they're thinking about, you know.
As a matter of interest, guys, how many guys have we got away in international? We can't have that many because a few of our players are injured, didn't they?
Alfie's away, Kamara will be away. Alan the boys that play for Northern Ireland.
Foxy. McGregor's not there.
No, he's
given up.
retired. A
Jack
rightful
Garfield's
decision.
obviously will not be going, will they? Because they're meant to be crocked.
Well, I think Canada play one game, mate, and I think it's quite an important game. I don't know how badly injured he is, but he seems very, very, very keen to play for Canada whenever games go up.
I know that.
I think Big McCauley's away. I think he's been picked up or asked to go for Northern Ireland.
I'm just having a wee swatch. I don't normally go into the lobby, but Barry Gerrard's saying, will the board give Stevie G proper funds? That's one subject I'll write down. We'll maybe talk about that and see how it gets on. Any yous get anything? No? David, do you think we should have a right talk about the press in Scotland, or is that done?
Yes, please. Yes, please. Press and media.
Press and media.
I don't think we covered the gym trainer thing enough. I thought the gym trainer presser was good, and I think a lot of his points he made, we kind of spoke about it, but I think it's something we talk about great length. We can get away from the fact that the way that we're being played against and that, but I think all-round media coverage of Rangers, and what irks me a lot is, or more than a lot, is the ex-Rangers players who are new pundits who find it hard
to back us up.
And that irks me. You know, as Blue Star knows, him and myself, it irked us for many years and that we never go anywhere. It only goes that we get banned for speaking our mind, you know. So I'd like to maybe expand that a bit, Fox, and see what kind of response we get about how the media portrays Rangers and how we deal with it. I think we deal with it quite badly. I don't think the Rangers board stick up for the club and the fans especially as much as they should.
Jimmy, the real shock
I'm reading. Sorry, I'm reading this lobby. Blue Shadows put Bridgeman could do a moaning about referees.
Well, he's right.
Is that Blue Shadow? Well, Blue Shadow could come on and do his own moanings. He's very good at moaning, that guy.
The real shocker, Jimmy, came for that James Traynor thing. He did 27 minutes with the BBC and they used 30 seconds. You know. I mean,
by the way, see, talking about that, Rudy, I mean, I've noticed a lot in the forums, and sometimes people come on here and say the board don't say anything. Well, they did come out and start to mention things, they get fined again. And then the gym trainer interview, which is also sanctioned with the board, came out and said his piece against the press. So they are doing something that does people think it's just no enough? Is that the problem?
It's no enough. And I think another thing is as well, I think the Union Bears situation should be spoken about again in two fronts. The first one obviously is they've spat the dummy out. And I've read a lot of things since the protest started, and I'm kind of swaying towards supporting Rangers. And the fact is that, you know, you're an organisation who's there, but you don't deserve to be bullying other people. And that's a word I'll use also, because I think some of the things that are happening at away games, guys, a couple of friends at the away games there the last 3 or 4 weeks and said that a few unsavoury things are happening at away games, and I'm not going to say it's Union Bears that's doing it all the time, but there's things that's not quite right, and I don't want to see that coming to Rangers again. No, I don't want to see it. Okay. The Union Bears situation is going to gather momentum for next season. They spat the dummy out.
We did offer the Union Bears to come on, mate. It was you who was trying to arrange it, but they decided not to do it. So
they went elsewhere.
I think there'll be a lot of people who back them, and a lot of people, again, maybe not just be so popular about some of their ideas. I mean, there's a few things I'd like to change the Ibrox, but nobody's going to listen to me, you know.
Foxy,
yes, sir.
There was one incident, I'm sure I read on Follow that they've gone round and checked the toilets in the stadiums, and they've found the cocaine use or shall we say, sales of it.
That's a social problem, mate.
No. I'm just saying. Listen. What they're talking about is what they're going to do is they're going to allegedly, some clubs, if not Rangers, they're going to come in with the dogs, the drug dogs, so sniffer dogs. So this could impact on Rangers. I don't know how far it would go with the Rangers, but I know that Rangers in the club deck, they found the traces up there. And of course, every stadium they went to, they found traces of it. So,
mate, you can't go into a pub anywhere in Glasgow and find traces of that.
Yes, I understand that.
That's not a Rangers supporters' problem, mate. That's a social problem, definitely.
On a buses where you go on a bus or train, you'll find traces of all that.
But I'm asking you, is it not things that you want to discuss?
No, happening? I'm not discussing that.
So you get into the toilets and there's guys, you get in there and there's guys smoking until somebody shouts, "Here's the stewards" or whatever, It's
can I come in about smoking there? Sorry, folks. I was a big moaner about smoking. I'm an ex-smoker, and it's no as if, as I said, there's no my soapbox there, and I was absolutely peed off with having to go at half time. And it was full of smoke. But now that they've opened up these areas at half time, and what I can say, 100%, that it has got a lot better. I can go to the toilet now at half time, and there's no the smell of smoke as much. There is a smell, but it's nothing with what it was.
I think it's worked. It's worked, Jimmy.
Yep, it's worked, mate.
Only thing I've got a complaint is, mate, I sit in the main stand. That's no an offer. So a couple of games ago, I done a wee swap of a ticket and went and sat in the Sandy Garden, mate, and I went down to try it, and it was very well organised. You get down the stair and you're actually outside the ground, very well run, and I enjoyed my wee fag.
Yeah.
So that's something that they've fixed out in the toilet.
The question I was going to follow on with is, if they do come into stadiums, and we're just talking about Ibrox, and find fans are actually using the drugs on site.
Oh, Brad,
listen, whoa. I'm just a question. These are the questions I've got in my mind, right? Would that impact on a strict liability type thing? Could the club be hounded for that? That's the questions I've got to ask. Obviously, I don't think it should be, but there you go. You
go to any venue in Britain, the world, and they can only stop so many people getting in. If they've got something on them, and it's no, I don't want to get down the road of dogs and that sniffing everybody's again, blah blah blah. But I think one of the subjects we should maybe talk about as well is, I mean, it's went kind of quiet now, folks, regarding Mr. Ashley and how we're going to go forward with our merchandise. I was in the shop last week with Graham. He was looking for a painting at Ibrox. I said, when we'll get into the Rangers shop, there's a good chance it's there. I know it's still Sports Direct, but you might get some. It was a terrible place to go into. Rangers need to sort that out. So maybe that's something we can discuss about. If I've got any more information on what's happening with Ashley and Mr. King, trying to get this merchandise thing sorted. I know we've got the Rangers strips were sold. We've got the Rain shop down there with the Rangers Elite thing, whatever they call it. But I think that's something we could discuss in the future.
Was this in the stadium? Did you go to the stadium shop?
I went to the stadium shop. Right, it's absolutely terrible. Absolutely terrible. As I say, Graham was looking for he says, I'm wanting to get a new framed Rangers stadium thing. The guy down at the front kind of charges too much for what he's offering. So I went in and I was absolutely shocked what I'd seen. It was still all the old Puma stuff, and it was quite pricey as well, considering my new Hummel, and it's a better quality of strip. So I'm hoping that gets sorted sooner rather than later, because the funds that we can bring in with the merchandise,
it has to get sorted, Jimmy. That's predominantly our shop at Wargrun, and to see it in that state and to know where that money's no going to, it's got to get shut. It's got to get stopped. We're losing a fortune through our merchandise. As I've said them numerous times, before we went into bother, we were selling more tops in Britain than even Man U and the rest of them. And we've lost all that revenue. Now that's millions and millions of pounds. We've got to get that back.
Yep, definitely.
The money's got to be coming into our club.
Anyway, guys, but that's about time for call it a wee night. We'll be back tomorrow at 9 o'clock. We'll let Bridge have the final word here. Thanks, guys. It's joined us on the panel tonight.
Another marvellous evening. Great discussion. Apart from the stuff I'll come up with at the end there, people didn't want to talk about it, but never mind. Can I just say to all the Rangers fans all over the world, in particular Rangers fans on here on Rangers Radio, another poor result of the weekend. We need to keep it going, and we need to get up there. So everybody keep it going for the Rangers, because the Rangers really need us. They really do. Keep it going, please.
Right, good night. Thanks very much.
Rangers, easy, okay. Look out, everyone, we're on our way. Football is the game that we play all over the world. Rangers, easy, okay. Look out, everyone, we're on our way. We can show the world how to play, for we are Rangers, okay. Won't you come and cheer us? Help the boys along. White and blue, coming through with a song. Oh, Rangers, easy, okay. Look out, everyone, we're on our way. Football is the game that we play all over the world. Rangers, easy, okay. Look out, everyone, we're on our way. We can show the world how to play, for we are Rangers, okay. We'll be there to do it, do it if we can. Win the cup, hold it up in our hands. Rangers, easy, okay. Look out, everyone, we're on our way. Football is the game that we play all over the world. Rangers, easy, okay. Look out, everyone, we're on our way.